What's going on, guys? I'm Corey. This is my wife Alicia. We got Chase and Jack here.
Today we are going to see a bird migration. It's called Middle Creek Wildlife Area. It's outside of Lititz, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Hundreds of thousands of birds stop there on their migration, so it's really cool to see. After we see the birds, we're going to head to Lancaster, stop in Lititz. Lititz is on the way to Lancaster, so it's a really nice area. We like to check it out, go to the shops and stuff. We're gonna take you along with us.
The dogs know we're close. Where are we? What? Oh. Are you ready to see the birds? Chase, what about you? You want to see the birds? Well, guys, we may have missed the majority of it. I don't know. There's a lot of birds scattered out here across all these little lakes and fields. We were here a couple weeks ago and there was at least 3 times the amount of birds that there is now. I guess that's what happens with the bird migration. We'll see what happens. Okay, guys, so we got a little bit of a walk down to where the birds are supposed to be.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's very cold. The water's frozen. They said it was going to be 49.
Yeah, they said.
Yeah, it's
but
not
it feels
49.
like 20. I see them coming down.
Yep. I'll turn the camera around and you could probably hear them too. I don't know if you could hear them, but it looks to be quite the crowd. Okay, guys, we almost made it down to the birds. It's cold, very cold. We had to walk quite the distance. We're rushing because we hear all the commotion, the birds moving.
We didn't bring the dogs. They're kind of annoying, and there's a lot of people here, and with the birds and trying to take pictures and stuff, so we just left them in the car this time. We normally don't leave them, but
for a 5-minute walk, they'll be okay. We'll do what we got to do, and we'll get back to them. I'm gonna stop real quick. Let's see. Hold on. You could just barely make out. I don't know. That little bit of whiteness that you see in the camera, you might not be able to see it. There's swans here as well. Hoping we're gonna get a good view of them. Check this out, guys. That's a bald eagle sitting in the tree there. I bet you he's looking for his breakfast. Hopefully we get some nice clear pictures. If we do, I'll flash them on the screen here. Okay, so we're walking back to the truck now. Not exactly sure if we've seen what we wanted to see, or there's definitely a lot of people, a lot of things going on. We may explore around a little bit before we decide to head on down to Lancaster, Lititz area. But I guess the time to be here is at dusk and dawn. Welcome to Lititz, Pennsylvania, everybody. Established 1756. It's busy. To the right of us here is Wilbur Chocolate Company. This is a really old place here. I don't exactly know any of the history, but I know it's old.
There's the little park. Oh, we should walk through the park.
We get a
because
little
there's all
park
ice.
here.
I don't know how we get there now.
Welcome to Lititz Springs Park, everybody. Nice, beautiful walkway here. Goes down to the middle of the park. There's lots of ducks here. You can see the springs just come right out of the water. You got some here. You can see the water comes right up out of the ground. I have no idea what that means. Another little well there. So we're gonna take a walk around, even around the town. They have a lot of ice sculptures and things, but not sure on the timeline of how things are gonna go. We gotta get something to eat and make a video while doing it.
Just go stand in and I'll record you on there.
When it's open straight. Jace.
Look at that white one.
Again, just another massive tree. You could see, look at Alicia next to that giant sycamore tree. Chase, would you quit pulling me, little buddy? Oh, stand up against it again? Say cheese. Chase, what's in there?
What's in it?
What do you smell there, Chase? What a beautiful old house here. 1762 is the date on this house. Very historic district. What's up, guys? We just made it back. After a quick pit stop for lunch, we actually grabbed some more SD cards, and this place is filled up all the way down the road. That's because we could tell the birds made it back. Let's go take a look. All right, guys, we're back in the car, headed back home. That was a lot of birds to see in one day, a lot of walking. The dogs are a lot of people. The dogs are exhausted. We're exhausted.
You could tell they're not here in the camera. They're just laying down, sleeping.
Yeah. Well, we had no idea that there was going to be a fire and ice festival in Lititz. It's actually, we intended on sitting down and, kind of going into a little detail about, how we're back in Pennsylvania. There's a big void in the videos. Like we said earlier, there was a big time gap there. And part of that was we bought our new travel trailer in Utah, St. George, Utah. And from there, we had made the plan that if we got a work camping job, we could become seasonal in certain areas and be able to stay traveling for a longer duration of time. So we went on some Facebook pages. It was very easy to find a work camping job. We found a work camping job.
It sounded great.
Sounded great in Darby, Montana, which is in the middle of the Bitterroot National Forest.
Small little cute town.
Beautiful area. We absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. But unfortunately, we could not come into a written agreement with the people that owned the RV park. Actually, they had cabins and RV park. They also had hotel rooms, and they had a bunkhouse for a lot of the cyclists that come through the area. That was all our responsibility. Monetarily, it just was not sufficient for us. We had to make the decision. We had to leave, and that's what brought us headed back east. We made the best of it. Stopped where we could, Mount Rushmore in South Dakota on our way home, but we had a deadline. We stayed in Pennsylvania for a little bit. Actually, we kind of bounced around between the whole East Coast. We were in Florida, we were in Pennsylvania. We ended up settling in South Carolina for 8 or 9 months. And, it was the luck of the draw. We just managed to make our way home, and that's where we are now.
So we've been back in Pennsylvania for 2 years. Yeah.
About 2 years.
Now, yep. Coming on 2 years.
Still have the same pickup truck, still have the same camper. We actually went back to the same jobs. And,
we're
just trying to piece things back together. It's a hard transition to get back into home life from full-time travel on the road. We're a little unsure on all the details that we should go into on how things panned out or anything. I don't know if you guys are interested on what happened or anything, you're curious. Feel free to leave us a comment. We'd be glad to share. So if you're interested in any of the any of the details that we may not have mentioned about how we managed to get back, all the things, feel free to leave us a comment. I'd be glad to share whatever questions you may have or anything. It's a little awkward for us. We're not used to doing that style of video. We don't know what details anybody wants to hear or anything. So, let us know if you want us to make a video on just that, who we are, where we came from, and how we decided to go about traveling. I have no problem sharing anything with you. Just let us know
if you want to know, I guess.
So, like I was saying, we're back.
Doing the normal Monday through Friday working, hiking on the weekends, hopefully taking some trips on the weekends again. We haven't been able to really.
Yeah, the winter time here in Pennsylvania, it's been a very mild winter, but once you go into December, unless you're into the winter sports, obviously we're not necessarily winter sport people, which is why we went to the Southwest. It gets cold, and there's nothing to do. You go to work in the dark, you come home in the dark, and you vegetate in the house. That's one of the main things that we don't like about being stationary in one place, is that you have no control over that. You have to deal with the weather, and it's unfortunate, you know. You lose. We realize now you lose so much time not being able to do the things you want to do because the weather just holds you up. You just can't do it if it's cold and windy and rainy, which is the problem this winter. Is it is super wet, and very hard to hike.
And we don't like to be out in the cold, so don't really want to be outside. And the months that we do get that aren't winter, it's very short. We don't have a lot of time that we really get great weather. You know, even June sometimes can be really cold and crappy, wet.
Yeah.
Right here. So
yeah, when the weather begins to break, once we start getting back into more comfortable temperatures, or our camper is sitting right now, it's got a cover on it, it's winterized, and it is 100% not being used. That's not a good thing. We don't like that. So you better believe we have a lot of plans to get out and explore. It's actually going to be a little bit different for us. There's a lot of places that we knew that we could go and do things, and we haven't, just because not having you know, a hotel room to stay in or wherever. This is obviously before we got the camper. So, you know, we're going to explore the tri-state region a little bit more in depth, and that certainly is good to see. A lot of people that RV and everything, a lot of people don't come to the East Coast. I think it's because they're afraid that you can't boondock, or there's no places to free camp in the East. We can tell you that's not true. That is not true. There's plenty of places.
It's not like out west, like BLM land and all that.
Correct. You don't have BLM land, but you still have national forest lands. There's state lands. There's free camping. You just got to know where to find it. We've done a lot of free camping in the Allegheny National Forest. That's the northwest part of Pennsylvania. We've been in the Adirondacks. We've been in the Catskills, all the way into Vermont and everything. We certainly plan on doing much more of the eastern seaboard. And we're going to do that boondocking just like we always did. So stay tuned for that. You know, if you have any ideas of where you'd like to see us go, again, let us know. We don't know everywhere, but we're always looking for new places to go. And you know, if that's the type of things that you want to see and move around, be sure to subscribe. And you know, we're gonna do it. So we got a lot of driving to do. It's been a long day. We thank you for bearing with us. If you're still watching after all this time, we greatly appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave us a comment. We really enjoy that stuff. And we'll see you in the next video. See you guys.
Bye.
What's going on, guys? My name's Corey. This is my wife, Alicia. We got Chase and Jack back there. I don't know what